Hey friends, it's me, Jenny, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video because I recently found out that my kitty, Alice, who's 14 years old, has this thing called hyperthyroidism, and people get it too. There's so much information that I've learned about hyperthyroidism in cats over the last few weeks. I would love to just share with you what I've learned and give you a little update on the kitty. She's a 14-year-old kitty. I've had her basically all her life, and she's always been healthy and happy and sweet. And I don't know, in the last few months, I had noticed that she was losing some weight and her coat wasn't looking as good. So I had to take her into the vet and see what in the heck was going on with my little kitty cat. So the first time I took her into the vet, they had treated her for her fur, and they had basically given her a steroid or something to help the reaction that it looked like as if she was having an allergic reaction. Over the years, there have been a few times when she's been allergic to food. I'm actually usually able to spot when Kitty has some type of allergic reaction. Anyways, so she got treated with the steroids, and I'm not sure that they did all that much good. Maybe I should just not even talk about these parts. The first vet visit wasn't that bad, except for the fact that she totally got diarrhea the next few days, and that was definitely uncomfortable for her and definitely no fun for us. But that cleared up, and so as soon as I could afford it, I took her into the vet again to get the blood and urinalysis tests, which would let me know exactly what was going on, if there was anything else more severe that I should know about. The tests came back positive for hyperthyroidism in cats. Is basically where the thyroid is overworking itself and manages to overwork the heart and the kidneys as well. And the body will feel like it's not getting any nutrients or food, even though the cat might be eating plenty. So this is something that'll happen in older cats especially, but it'll happen in younger cats and mid-aged cats as well. So it's one of those things about if you own a cat, it's good to know about different health things that you could be aware of. This I had never actually heard of before. I've been exposed to other things with felines in the past, like kidney failure, other fleas, worms, ear mites. I've had all kinds of things. Not really with Alice. She did have a couple issues. Back in the day, one time she got crystals in her urine or some. She never had anything that wasn't easy to fix. So this diagnosis was a lot more scary for me because it was a lot more serious. And basically, if you don't treat the cat for hyperthyroidism, then it'll just keep getting worse and worse until eventually the heart gives out or the liver and kidneys gives out. And it's really sad. It's really terrible thing to think about, so I'm going to try not to think about that very much. We are going to be treating Alice, so we don't have to worry about not being able to treat her. Your options for treatments for hyperthyroidism in cats varies depending on how good of a condition the rest of the body is in. So if the cat's heart and kidneys are still in good condition and there's no kidney failure yet or anything, then you can consider this one treatment that we're going to get Kitty. It's called Radioactive Iodine Therapy or treatment. A lot of the times when cats are diagnosed, they're already in pretty severe conditions. Some cats won't even qualify for the radioactive iodine therapy because they might already be in heart failure or kidney failure. But luckily in Alice's case, everything else looked fine. They said that she had a bit of a heart murmur, but I heard that that can also be because of stress. And Alice gets extremely stressed out when she goes to the vet, and she does not like getting in the car, going on trips, a lot like most cats. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, of course, but in the past, I had a backyard where she could kind of roam around the back patio area, and I would keep an eye on her. But for the most part, she prefers to be the only cat around. She does not like to be exposed to any other cats. It's very stressful for her if she sees or smells any of the cats around. One time she even popped a screen out the window just to chase after a neighbor cat that was nearby and taunting her through the window. Luckily at that point we were in a building that was on the first stories, so she didn't jump out of the window very far. But I wouldn't put it past her to jump off a second story window if it came down to it. Alice has always been a very physically active and lovable cat, very healthy. And she's been an indoor-only cat for the last... And before that, she was primarily an indoor cat for at least 6 or 8 years total. There was a bit of in-and-out cat action for a while when she was a kitten. Here she comes now! Aww. Well, I just want to say that the good news is that Kitty got in much better condition. This is actually where her fur was thinning out at the bottom of her tail, and that's one of the signs of hyperthyroidism in cats. And the fur actually got much better. I was sure to start like feeding her way more. And after that first vet visit where they gave her the steroids and it gave her diarrhea, I decided to take some time and see if I couldn't adjust her diet to make her fur look and feel better. And then I did and actually wind up getting this amazing supplement that it's created by a veterinarian, and it's really cool because it has all these ingredients that are usually left out in cheap cat food. So I will show you guys exactly the supplement that I'm talking about. But it did seem to, first of all, I couldn't give Kitty very much, definitely not as much as they said to give her of the powdered supplement. I could only just give her a tiny little speck in each meal, and that did seem to help with the fur. And whether or not that steroid helped Kitty very much at the time that she had the fur issue, I do believe that the supplement powder is. I do believe that the supplement powder helped a lot with the quality of her fur, and also in general, I just feel like she was scratching less, and her fur is just like thicker and stuff. Yeah, all right here, like I have some pictures, but it was like thinning out, like she got really skinny, and she's already gained like at least a pound and a half. We got a scale to weigh Kitty and just keep a closer eye on her weight. Ever since I found out that she has hyperthyroidism, it's really important to make sure that they don't lose too much weight and lose too many nutrients or anything like that. So our veterinarian had recommended the i131 treatment, which is the radioactive iodine therapy. It's the only known potential cure for hyperthyroidism in cats. Alice the Wonder Cat, who some of you may recognize from in my videos and on my stream throughout the years. The good news is that we did get Alice signed up for the best possible treatment, which is called i131. It's really interesting. They actually do a single injection in the cat, and they have to keep the cat for several nights at a facility that is licensed to handle radioactive materials. It sounds so crazy. I was really scared when I found out, but I was just so happy to have an answer about what was wrong with Kitty and why was she losing weight, why was her fur starting to thin out. Especially now that I know she's sick, I'm giving her a lot more, I'm giving her more frequent portions of chicken, wet food, and straight cooked chicken that I make myself for her. So I know that it's good quality, and basically making sure to feed her at all times. She's always got some dry food out, which is actually, since I found out about her diagnosis, I got the thyroid healthcare dry food from Hill's Science Diet. A lot of people say don't use Hill's Science Diet, it's just crap. There's no nutrients in it, there's no protein in the dry food at all. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I just want to make sure that my cat is eating as much as she is willing to eat. And I don't want her to get any, skinnier than she is. And she has already gained over a pound, I think a pound and a half. I've been keeping track of her weight every day. As of now, there's only 5 days left until her radioactive iodine treatment appointment. And basically what they do is they do the single injection, and she stays overnight for however many nights it takes until her body is not radioactive anymore. It just sounds so crazy. Unfortunately, that means that it could take just like 3 to 5 days, or it could take longer. In some countries, I heard that the radioactive iodine therapy requires that the cat stays in the facility for up to 3 weeks. All things considered, I'm just glad that we live somewhere that will not keep her there any longer than, probably a week. Also, luckily, I found a facility that is no more than like an hour drive away, so it won't be too far to get her to and from. Some people travel halfway across the country to make sure that their cat gets the best quality care, and other people will even fly their sick cat in an airplane to this particular facility that I'm taking Alice to. So that's how good a rapport this facility has. A lot of people cannot even afford the i131 treatment, which I definitely do not just have like thousands of dollars laying around in my savings, unfortunately. Since a few years before I moved up here to Washington, I had started taking action to improve my credit score, and luckily I had finally gotten good enough credit, move up here to Washington, get an apartment with my name on the lease, and basically, that's all I really need, a roof over my head. And I got my computer so I can work. I don't even have to necessarily leave the house, which is great because my car is definitely on its last leg. and I can't just like drive my car places. I live somewhere that it's not too bad to walk to the grocery store or take a lift, but in the winter it gets frosty, icy, snowy, and freezing, and it's not really a practical idea to walk to the grocery store in the winter. But right now it's in, October. It's still really nice weather out there. It is starting to get cool outside, but either we will rent a car, which I feel like might be way too expensive. But if I can find a really good deal on a rental car, then that's what I'll do to get Kitty to her appointment. Otherwise, I'm gonna just get a lift and make sure they're okay with taking a cat in a carrier. And so probably I'll take a lift to take the cat and drop her off. And then I'll just have to wait. It'll be weird because it'll be the first time I'll be hanging out at home with my partner, but without the cat. I've definitely not had my cat staying somewhere other than with me for more than a couple of days. There was a couple times when I went on a road trip or a festival vacation and had a friend watch my cat, but those were always times when we had roommates and it was the roommates watching the cat. So this will definitely be the longest she's ever been away from home, and certainly the longest she's ever been at a veterinarian type of place. So I've got major anxiety and I'm really scared about it, but I'm just trying to shove all those emotions under the rug and just be, logical about this and be an adult and be mature and make sure that I'm just making the best decisions for my cat. Another option for cats who are diagnosed with hyperthyroidism is a daily pill. Normally, the cats have to take the pill twice a day for the rest of their life. And then there's another version that is called a transdermal, where you like rub it on their ears. So that's used for cats that are not willing to take pills, or if they, spit up their pills and they're not able to be medicated with pills. And the transdermal, same thing, I believe, where you give it at least once, if not twice a day on the ears. And a lot of the cats that I've been doing a lot of research, and I heard that the transdermal will often cause allergic reactions on the poor little kitty's face. It doesn't cure the hyperthyroidism, it just regulates the thyroid so that the thyroid is producing a more regular amount of T4. Honestly, I don't know all the information, but I have done a lot of research. There's the one thing called T4 levels, which if the T4 is too high, then the cat will have hyperthyroidism. And then I believe if it's too low, then that's when they have there's hyperthyroid and then there's hypothyroid. One is where the thyroid is overworking and the other one is where the thyroid isn't working hard enough. Either way, it causes a lot of strain on the other organs and it can be life-threatening, especially if the cat is older or already has other health problems. So the pills are, in the short term, less expensive, but in the long term, it does wind up being more costly than the i131 therapy. And since the i131 therapy is an almost guaranteed cure, that's why I decided to do everything in my capability to figure it out. How am I going to pay for this? I don't have the savings. I could just start her on the pills, but I really didn't want to do that because they said that the pills will over time make the kidneys and liver worse. And at that point, definitely the therapy won't be an option, and it's just all downhill from there. So it's really sad. I know everybody dies at some point in life, and that's just a fact of life. But for my kitty, if I had children, I'd feel the same way. But basically, for anybody that I know, love, care about, and even anyone that I've never met, I would wish for anyone to have a comfortable life and be happy. And I would hope that no one has to suffer before they die. So I especially wanted to make this video because I wanted to say thank you so very much to everyone who donated to me I made a GoFundMe. I especially wanted to make this video to say thank you so much to everybody that donated on my GoFundMe page and also on my Facebook fundraiser. As soon as I found out about the hyperthyroid diagnosis, I realized that, I've never actually done a fundraiser, and if there was a life and death or otherwise health concern, that would be my reason to make a fundraiser. So I went ahead and did that. I put together a GoFundMe page, and when I was going to share it on Facebook, Facebook is like, hey, why don't you make a fundraiser on Facebook? So that's why I have two fundraisers, one on GoFundMe for basically I had put the original total cost that it would And I feel so grateful and just wanted to say thank you so much. Mostly my friends that I know from IRL who have donated to me. But either way, everyone's been so supportive, and I don't expect anybody to donate to the cause or anything unless like you happen to unless it's comfortable to do so and you really want to. I don't expect anyone to donate to this. I just wanted to let you know what I'm up to, what's up with Alice, and I wanted to make an update about Kitty and the situation for the people who did donate on the fundraiser so far. One of the other treatments that I read about that the vet didn't even mention to me is actual surgery where they remove the thyroid. But when I read about that, I was not interested in finding out anymore. I did not like the idea of surgery because it can damage the delicate tissue around the thyroid when they're doing the surgical removal. That sounded like way too much brute force. And Alice, she's 14. She's definitely not super young anymore. She's not the oldest cat in the world. But I just don't, I don't foresee her doing well under those type of conditions. And at first, I was really scared about the idea of leaving her at the treatment center for this 131 therapy. But after doing more research and talking to more people that have actually done this with their cats, I feel a lot more confident, and I'm still sure that this is the best option for her. So as of today, there's 5 more days until we take Kitty and drop her off, and I'll be sure to keep everyone posted, as we go along. It wasn't even until today that I was really able to sit down and make this video because I've been letting it simmer in my mind and just kind of like trying to keep my shit together because it's just like really emotional because I love the cat. She's like my best little fluffy friend, and it's kind of like hard to talk about anything that could ever go wrong with Kitty. So I try not to dwell on the negative, just do my best to stay optimistic about everything. Basically, this is the best chance for her to become cured of hyperthyroidism and still live another several, 3 to 5 years. Some cats live even older than 20 years old. The entire time I've had Alice, I always imagined that she would live to be a ripe old age of like 20 years old or something, at least 18. I'm in my 30s now, and over the years, I've known several cats to live really long lives into their 20s. I feel like that may not be the norm, but I know it happens all the time, and I feel like because I've taken really good care of Alice all these years, that there's no reason why we can't keep her in good condition for another 3 to 5 years. Or more, damn it. So that's why we're doing this. I'll be sure to keep you posted as often as I can, if not through video, then on the GoFundMe page and on the Facebook page. My credit score was not in the best condition when I found out that she was diagnosed, but I figured it was still worth a try. Wound up literally physically calling the one credit card place. They were a local credit union actually, so I kind of felt like a little bit more of a personal connection with that credit union, and they had upped my credit when I moved up here, and I'll never forget that. So this time I needed help with the kitty thing, so I called up that same credit union and I asked very nicely if I could please get more credit on my credit card because that card was maxed out. I was so lucky that they granted me another $1,000 on that credit card. But that still wasn't enough because the radioactive iodine therapy is very expensive, and it at the particular facility that I'm taking her to goes up to $1,700. We got several $100s worth of donations through GoFundMe and Facebook, and I had $1,000 worth of more credit. I still needed some more money, and so then I decided to apply for this stuff called Care Credit, which I guess it's a blessing that I never got sick, that I found out about this before, but Care Credit is good for people, animals, dental, vision, all that good stuff. So it's basically I got some more credit on the Care Credit, and that wound up being $950 on there. So I'm leaving up the fundraiser pages for now, just in case anyone decides they want to donate. I'm just really glad that I got the financial side of things figured out between credit and the kindness of others. So thank you again to everyone that donated, and thanks to anyone willing to listen to the story about my cat and me. Overall, life has been pretty good. I've been surviving, financially surviving, and everything has been fine. I just did not have a substantial amount of savings. I actually did not have any savings, just have some credit card debt lately, so I really don't mind. I'm leaving up the fundraiser pages for now, but I just wanted everyone to know how grateful I am, and that thank goodness I got the financial side of things figured out. So Alice will indeed be getting her therapy in only just 5 days. Until then, I'll just be snuggling Kitty extra, feeding her extra, and just making sure that she's pampered because she's my one and only, you know? That's pretty much it for now, friends. Thanks again for watching and for hearing me out. This little story about Alice and me has kind of been a huge part of my life the last few weeks and actually the last couple months. So I was really worried, and now there's hope. And yeah, so I'll keep you posted. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon, friends. Bye.